Good evening to you around Australia. This is Alan Gaskell, and it's my pleasure tonight to welcome you to SBS Television's national coverage of Australia's glamour harness race, the Miracle Mile, live from Harold Park Paceway in Sydney. 6 especially invited standard bred racers from Australia and New Zealand about to compete for $250,000 worth of prize money. Conditions in Sydney tonight are absolutely perfect. It's a warm night at Harold Park. The track is hard and fast, and all indications are that this might very well be the fastest Miracle Mile ever run, with a fabulous field of horses. Well, the tote odds we'll give you in just a few moments, but please beware of 3 times, which we'll look at as the horses go through their quarters. The Harold Park track record is 155.9, held by Popular Arm. The Miracle Mile record, be careful of that, is 156.1, held by the New Zealand champion Master Mood. And if they can beat the Australian record of 153.9, there's a bonus of $30,000. Now, that record is held by Thorate, who set the 153.9 at Brisbane's Albion Park. The atmosphere is tremendous at Harold Park, a huge crowd. Let's now look at the horses as they line up behind the mobile barrier for the Miracle Mile. Number 1 is Luxury Liner, the New Zealand millionaire pacer. He's won $1.7 million. He's driven by Tony Herlihy, and on the New South Wales tote is at 10 to 1 the win and $4 for the place. Luxury Liner, number 1. Number 2, representing Queensland, is Earth Station, a 6-year-old horse driven by Kevin Thomas, on the tote at 13 to 1, $14 for your dollar in New South Wales and $4.10 for a place. Number 3 is Thorate, owned in Tasmania, trained on the New South Wales coast, driven by Brian Hancock, $3.20 for a dollar and $2.10 for a place. Number 4 will be Westburn Grant, representing New South Wales. He's the favourite, $2.20 for the win and $1.70 for a place, 5 to 4 on the New South Wales tote. Number 5, Tip Top Prince, of course, is scratching. Number 6 in the Miracle Mile is Jody's Babe, the Victorian mare, the fastest ever mare to win at Harold Park. 157.6 she rated last Friday night, driven by her trainer Vin Knight. And starting from the outside barrier, Koala Sunrise, trained in Sydney, in fact on the northern beaches of Sydney, by Chris Gleeson, driven by Chris's sister Therese Gleeson. Therese, the first ever lady driver to drive in a Miracle Mile. She will start from the outside, and the sentimental money has her at just 10 to 1 on the New South Wales tote and $2 for a place. Well, there you have it, the field for the 1989 Coca-Cola Miracle Mile. Joining us now on our SBS coverage is Ivan Tilley from the National Trot Guide magazine. Ivan, you've been in the ring in the last few moments. What's the action?
Well, plenty of punters want to be on Westburn Grant. They've made Westburn Grant a very short price favourite. He's about the same odds as he is on the tape with the bookmakers, but every time they put up a little bit over that yours for theirs, it was knocked off very smartly, and Westburn Grant will start a pronounced favourite in this year's Miracle Mile. Plenty of support for Thorate. Thorate is expected to lead in this race, and it's going to take a mighty horse to beat him. The surprising thing was that the Chris Gleeson trained Koala Sunrise. It's double figures on with the bookmakers and half that price on the New South Wales tote. And sentimental followers have really rallied towards Tess Gleeson in the Miracle Mile this year. Jody's Babe, of course, is pretty much the same odds in the ring. Luxury Liner, he's blown right out in betting. And Earth Station, there's been a sprinkle of money for the Queenslander. But Westburn Grant, the money for Westburn Grant says that he'll win the Miracle Mile.
Ivan Tilley from the National Trot Guide magazine. Well, the runners are behind the mobile barrier. Perfect conditions. Keep an eye out for those times. I think it'll be a very fast Miracle Mile. Let's go now to our commentator calling his first, one of Australia's exciting young trotting callers. Here's Farron Hotham.
Thank you, Alan Gaskell, and hello, everyone. Welcome to the 1989 Miracle Mile, sponsored by Coca-Cola. What a fantastic event this is going to be. Behind the start, you see Thorate there in the colours of Brian Hancock from down on the south coast. That's Tess Gleeson. What an important night it is for her on Koala Sunrise. Next to her, Jody's Babe. A big crowd in here, in excess of around 20,000 people. They've awaited some exciting action in 89, and what a tremendous climax this is going to be. This lady we're telling you about, Tess Gleeson, aboard Koala Sunrise. Koala, in only the last month and a half, has progressed to this race. You had to be invited to be here, and she's done a tremendous job. There's Brian Hancock, who says he may retire after this season. He's been a prolific champion over the years in those familiar orange and black colours. Also back behind him is Jody's Babe in the yellow. She's a tremendous horse. Vin Knight aboard. Jody won the Inter Dominion this year. She's going for that double that only Hondo Grattan and A couple of other horses have been able to emulate. Young Quinn was one of them in 75, the horse they called Garbage. Look at that crowd. They're anticipating what's going to win. They've invested a lot of money on this race. Around 3 million in New South Wales. There's Tess coming up on Koala Sunrise. The favourite at this stage, as we look across to the tote board, is Westburn Grant at 220 and 170. Just ahead of 4-8, who's now into 210 and 180. People have been studying, trying to pick a winner. This race is as big as the Melbourne Cup to harness racing fans, and they're now lining up. I hope I can do this race justice for you as they start to come up. Jody's Babe is next to Koala Sunrise. The Brilliant Champion with Vic Cross, Westburn Grant has come along. 4-8 next to it. Luxury Liner and Earth Station. The 6 of them will go abreast to the tape. The Mobile Barrier gathers speed. Stand by for the 1989 Miracle Mile. What an exciting race this is going to be. They should make under the 2 minutes. Matter of fact, most pundits say it's going to be an Australian record tonight. Get set for the armchair ride as they begin. For the 1989 Miracle Mile, away they go. Westburn Grant in the centre began brilliantly, and Thorray challenges in for the lead. Getting away well, Koala Sunrise on the outside. Finn Knight training with Jody's Babe as they go past the judge. Then came Earth Station, and Luxury Liner is last. Out of the back the first time, and it's Thorray in front. He's a neck in front of Westburn Grant, but look at the dust fly, and the 2 challengers, they weave down the back of the track now. Then came Luxury Liner. They're being followed by Earth Station. Jody's Babe is a long way back, and Koala Sunrise is about 100 metres from the lead. It's Vic Frost and Westburn Grant doing it well. They're under the 2-minute lights as they pace down the back. It's Westburn Grant by a length and a half on 4-8. Then came Luxury Liner passing Earth Station. They're followed by Jody's Babe second last, and Koala Sunrise is last. The 4-year-old Australian champion Westburn Grant, he won the Derby in fine fashion here, and he's doing pretty well as they sweep around the turn. 800 metres to go. You'll hear the bell lap, and it's Westburn Grant out in front. They're Indian File on the Miracle Mile. Westburn Grant with Vic Frost leading and dealing in front. Second is Thor right on the inside. They're being followed by Luxury Liner. The big Queenslander Earth Station makes a run around him. Then came Jody's Babe second last, and Tess has Koala Sunrise at the tail of the field. Up the back, 600 to go. They start to pack up like a can of sardines, and it's Westburn Grant in front. 4-8, Brian Hancock has that horse off the outside. Earth Station looks like the big mover. Then came Jody's Babe, Finn Knight racing around the outside. Luxury Line, the big New Zealand horse, are on the way on the fence, and last of all as they go down the back is Koala Sunrise. It's Westburn Grant of the 1989 Coca-Cola Miracle Mile. He's just in front of 4-8. Here's Earth Station, and then came Jody's Babe, followed by Luxury Liner, and last Koala Sunrise. Westburn Grant settles down to fight it out with 4-8. It's heads for turns for home. Jody's Babe in the centre. Luxury Liner and Earth Station can't win, and forget about Koala Sunrise. It's Westburn Grant in front. Frost goes for the shillelagh and gives him the big shove. Here's 4-8 coming home hard, but Westburn Grant, isn't he a champion? Westburn Grant comes down the line. Brilliant drive, Vic Frost. Westburn Grant beat 4-8, third Jody's Babe. Then came Luxury Liner, Earth Station, and the last one home was Koala Sunrise. Look at the Seiko rate of 157.9. Great run, 157.9. And Vic Frost has driven brilliantly. For the winner, Westburn Grant, driven by VW Frost, who should pay around $3.20 and $1.90. For Westburn Grant at 157.9. It doesn't break the big records, but by gee, it was a good run. Watch the replay, they turned. Vic Frost went to the lead soon after the start, and he really led and dealt with them all the way. Halfway down the straight with the SBS replay, and watch Westburn Grant. Brian Hancock gave 4-8 everything he possibly could. With the little fellow Westburn Grant, he's a brilliant 4-year-old, and he's gone away to win. His name's now go on the handle, and look at Vic Frost sitting beautifully from Exeter in New South Wales. A tremendous win. Watch the replay again. That's the champion Westburn Grant in front. 4-8 trying hard. Brian Hancock had the shillelagh in hand, and Jody's Babe on the outside coming home well with Luxury Liner first, but it's been a tremendous win. Now the should pays after the 89 Coca-Cola Miracle Mile. Stand by. The winner will pay around about $3.20, or I should say $2.10 and $1.70 in New South Wales. 4-8 to pay $3 or around $1.90 now confirmed at $1.90. And there'll be no third tote. 157.9. The winner has won by 4 metres. And there's Vic Frost coming back You'll hear the crowd in the background. Vic Frost and Westburn Grant, owned by the Breen family, and Vic Frost and Margaret Frost is in London tonight listening to our broadcast. And isn't Vic Frost excited? Vic Frost won this race back in 70 on Lucky Creed, who ran that time 1:59, so it's his second win in the 1989 Coca-Cola Miracle Mile. And the capacity crowd are standing as one to clap this champion home. Westburn Grant, the winner of the Coca-Cola Bottlers Miracle Mile in 1:57.9. It's been nearly 20 years, 19 years for Vic. He's one of the great names around here. Westburn Grant by Lord Grant out of Westburn View. This, out of 18 starts, has been 15 wins and 2 placings for VW Frost. It returned only about 3 weeks ago when it returned at Canberra in a flying mile, where it rated 1:56.8. Vic Frost aboard Westburn Grant, and Alan Gaskell has Vic Frost now. What a great win, Alan.
Vic, Alan Gaskell on SBS television, live across Australia. Excuse us, just for one moment. Vic, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you.
Live on national television. I think you might have silenced a few critics tonight, Vic.
Yeah, probably did.
Did the race go exactly to plan? You had to do a little bit of work in the early stages.
I didn't go to plan, no, but I mean, I haven't got any plans. When I go out, I just sort of drive the race as I see it, you know.
Vic, you've had some wonderful horses in your time. How does this fellow rate?
He's the best. He's the best.
Could he gone any faster tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he could have went a lot better.
Now, the owners are from New Zealand, I understand, or half the owners. You and Margaret, I'm told, is in London, your wife, who part owns it as well.
Yeah, and she'll be listening too.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Vic Frost, then, ladies and gentlemen. Vic owns Westburn Grant in conjunction with his wife, Margaret, and Barney Breen, who lives in the South Island capital, not the South Island capital, but the South Island town in New Zealand of Christchurch. Barney and his wife are here. It's been a real family affair because Vic's son, Glenn, has been the strapper of the horse the entire time through the campaign he's had. He's had 18 starts now for 16 wins and a tremendous performance. Let's go to the totes now and see also the time they ran in the Miracle Mile. The time was 1:57.9, just a little disappointing, I thought, and certainly outside the race record that Master Mood set of 1:56.1. The totes in New South Wales, $2.10 for the win for Westburn Grant for $1. He was the favourite, and for the place $1.70. The second horse, number 3, Thorate, paid $1.50. Just the 2 placed evidence in the Miracle Mile. The Quinella, if you got it, in New South Wales, $3.30. $3.30, and the trifecta on 4, 3 and 6 wasn't very much. It paid $10.60. Well, a fabulous scene here. The connections are around me. The crowd have given the champion a fantastic ovation, and it's just about time for us to leave you now from SBS Television. Before we do go, I would like to thank all concerned at the New South Wales Harness Racing Club here in Sydney, and in particular their Chief Executive, Mr. Peter V'landys, and their Marketing Promotions Executive, Mr. Bruce Cox, who have been untiring in their support and assistance in enabling SBS Television to bring you the Miracle Mile live in your lounge rooms across Australia tonight. So on behalf of the team, Alan Gaskell wishing you a very good evening and leaving you with yet another look at the final moments of this year's Coca-Cola Miracle Mile. Good night.